Hello students, welcome to this class of MA Final English Literature. I am Dr. S.S. Vedwan, Department of English, and today we'll discuss Walt Whitman's Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, the famous poem of Walt Whitman, and let us begin with the discussion. The poem Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, it has 9 sections and 132 lines. It was written in 1865 and it was included in the Calamus section of Leaves of Grass. Remember, the poem was not there in the original edition of Leaves of Grass, which appeared in 1855. The poem, as I told you, it was written in 1865 and it was included in the Calamus section of Leaves of Grass. Whitman, he describes a simple day-to-day familiar experience of crossing the East River between Brooklyn and Manhattan, two of the 5 districts of New York. So we can say that in this particular poem, he sketches the variety of people who takes the ferry to and fro from Brooklyn to Manhattan, Manhattan to Brooklyn. Whitman, he addresses the coming generations of persons who in future will cross the ferry. So optimism for the coming generations. The central metaphor of this poem is the flood tide, symbolic of sea of life. Sea of life is the life, a person from birth to death. His struggles, all humans, he says, struggle into this sea of life, and also the future generations will also struggle into this sea of life. So the central metaphor here is the flood tide, symbolic of the sea of life, and sea of life is the struggle which Whitman describes. He expresses his idea that throughout the day he thinks about the divine scheme according to which people work in life, that each and every individual, he has a different working style, he has a different lifestyle, he has different duties, he has different objectives. So Whitman describes all these. He says that I can see them in the imagination walking and crossing the river. The current of the river flows from swiftly under the boat. So a very minute picture which he describes about the ferry, about the sea, and the relationship between the crossers and the poet. The poet, that is Whitman, he believes that these travelers, they will enter the door of ferry and cross the river from one bank to the other. So he describes it very minutely, and he says that all these travelers, they will enjoy the sunset or the flood tide coming in, they will see the ebb tide also. So a very minute description. Now the poet, he places or distances, he says, doesn't matter. They do not separate permanently. Both the shores, they are connected with the ferry. They cannot be separated. Of course, the sea of life is there, but it is the struggle, it is the day-to-day struggle which he describes with the tide, clouds, and in the west, and hundreds of persons coming and going. This is the struggle of life. He thinks that the divine scheme of how people carry out their work, it is a divine scheme, and we have to live with this. The poet is also one of the crowd. He himself, Walt Whitman, says that I myself is part of this crowd. As one traveler is refreshed by the joy of a river and its shining flow, the poet is also refreshed. He has also been seen the slow flying of the birds and flying towards the south. He sees the birds fly in the sky. He has seen the reflection of the clear sky in the water. This is all nature. The poet says that I am dazzled by the shining rays of the sun. he has also seen the rays of light reflected in the sun and the lights also which are reflected in the water at evening times. Then the poet, he looks to another way and observes many ships coming and going. The poet has also, he says that all the persons who were traveling in the boat, they have some relations amongst each other. He has seen the quiet sails of many small and big ships. This is the routine work which the poet observed keenly, minutely, and has described in his Leaves of Grass. He says, the poet, he says that I see the white flakes left by the ship while sailing on the ocean. He also looks at the flags of different nations which are carried on their ships. He sees the sunset, he sees the morning. The poet says the waves of the ocean he sees in the twilight. He says the poet, he looks at the crests of the flags shining. Whitman says that all the travelers of the ferry, they were the same as they are to the readers of this poem. Now, the poet, he says that I loved all these cities of Brooklyn, Manhattan, which are the districts of New York. The poet, he asked the readers what relationship it is there between the poet and the traveler. He questions this relationship. He asks, what is the relationship that we all meet day after day after day? The poet further wants to know what will be the relationship between those persons and himself in the future, that is the coming generations who will cross the ferry and who will be living the same experience as the poet himself has experienced. The poet knows that his soul will one day leave his body, and he is quite conscious that it is through his body that he can realize his soul. The beautiful description of the scene at dusk, the flags of nations, the waves of the ocean in twilight sparkle, the fires coming out of the chimneys, is all very minutely, very beautifully described by Whitman. The poet believes that time, place, and distance, it doesn't matter. He feels himself to be part of the crowd, as I told you before, and he is one with the fellow travelers. He tries to establish a relationship with fellow travelers in future also, that is the coming generations. He beautifully describes his bath in the sea water and walk in the streets of Manhattan. A unique experience which he says that walking in the streets of Manhattan was really a great experience for me. His heart is full of certain questions and inquiries. The poet, his heart is full of certain questions and inquiries, and about the people he will remember afterward. The poet, he addresses the flow of the river with the flood tide and ebb with the ebb tide. He addresses wave to play on with their joyful crests. He requests the ferry to take the passengers from shore to shore in future. That is, this activity will remain there with the coming generations. They will also cross the ferry. They will also cross the river. He addresses the ships of Manhattan and Brooklyn to stand up near the beautiful hills so that he may observe the beautiful scenery. The poet wishes that the ferry may work and function forever. He addresses young men to call him loudly by his home name. The poet, he sees the coming generation, that the coming generations will wait for long time, and he wants the places and objects to live forever in this beautiful poetry. The poet hopes that nobody for nothing will disappoint him, withhold themselves from him. He says that everyone will accept his poetry in a joyful manner and nobody will reject it. The poet has loved all the things and all persons and believes that they are perfect. Finally, he says that all the persons and things, they point to eternity as perfect object of God. These persons or things may be great or small, but they all contribute towards the perfection of soul. And this is the objective of Whitman when he says that this is all things, great or small, they contribute towards the perfection of soul. The poet, he talk about contradictions of life. We can say he has firm belief that people know what is good and evil. The poet think about the faults he himself has committed. He evaluate his faults, he evaluate his good doings, and he says that the faults of lying, stealing, anger, they all are present in each and every one. But one who evaluates them, one who overcomes them, is a real human being. He says, the poet says, how he has been aimless, greedy, malicious, and shallow. He is evaluating himself. He analyzes his failures and achievements, his good deeds and his bad deeds. The poet, he addresses the river to flow on the joyful crests. Whitman sums up the philosophy of life. Well, while ending the poem, he sums up the philosophy of life. He wants to be remembered by the coming generations by his first name. He wished people to elevate their soul and seek answers to their questions. So, dear students, thank you very much. We'll take another poem by Walt Whitman in the next video. Thank you very much.